We're going to look at a specific scanning app called Genius Scan. It's a really user-friendly scanning app. It doesn't take a lot of signing in and all that stuff, and it saves things for you as well. It's limited in some of the things that it can do, which I'll show you that too. If you need to do something more complicated, there's a paid version of it. I'm always trying to encourage you to do things for free. So you might want to check out other scanning apps that work similarly as well. But I thought this was a good place to start. So free scanning apps allow you to scan physical documents and send them to other people using your phone's camera as a scanner. So you probably before used an actual or seen someone or had to use or gone to Staples and had to get something scanned. Scanner apps are great because it means you don't have to go to a physical big scanner or to somewhere that has it, and you can just use your phone to do that scanning and to make a legible document. I think the difference between that and taking a picture of something is that this is more formatted to be a document, something you can read, and something that can actually be pulled out as text too from the other side if they need to. So that's the difference there. Sometimes taking a picture of something is all you need, but if you need a readable, legible, quality document with something like a signature on it or something like that, this is a good way to do it. So today we're going to be learning about the Genius Scan app as one of the many possibilities for free scanning apps. And another reason I picked this one is because it's not specific to either Android or iPhone. It's available to both of them. So what you're going to do, as with all our app downloads, you're going to go to the Play Store if you're on Android or the App Store if you're on iPhone. So we'll practice that. The Play Store is here for me because I have an Android phone. And you're going to search for Genius Scan. So the search button down here, and then come up here and type Genius Scan. And it should pop up in your suggestions here. And you should see an orange icon that looks like this. You'll see there other ones will pop up too. So if there are other ones you want to check out, that's fine. Just focus on Scan. So once that app is downloaded, you're going to click that button that says open here. So we clicked install, and then once it's installed, we're going to click open. And we're going to get this screen, which we'll look at in just a second. So when you open Genius Scan, you're going to see this screen. And so many free apps remind you, probably more than you wanted to, that there is a paid version of it that has more features. Just keep saying you want to do Scan Basic. That's the free version. If you're just scanning something and sending it by email or saving it to your phone, that's all you really need. If you want to do more complicated things, that might be on another free app, or you can choose to pay for it as well. But for now, simple scans, this is the way we're going to do it. So just click on continue with Genius Scan Basic. And then it's going to pop up and ask you if you want to give permission for this app to take pictures and record video. And the reason you're doing this is because that's how your phone functions as a scanner. So in order to scan a document, you do have to give the app this permission. The thing that you're doing though is giving your phone the permission to do that when you're using this app. So it's not like you're saying you can turn it on whenever you want to. It says when I'm using this app, you can turn on my camera and take video, and that's necessary to do this. So if you're okay with that, every time you open the app, you can say, well, using the app. If you want to be asked this every time, you can say only this time. So I went ahead and said, well, using the app, just because it's a necessary feature to scan anything. So this is sort of your home page on Genius Scan. This is where all your scanned documents will be saved in a little line here once you've added some. But for right now, we're going to add our first document. You're going to have your document and put it on a flat surface, preferably with a little bit of contrasting color between the document itself and the background, like the table or whatever it's set on. So if you have a white document, if you have it on a table that's a little darker than white, that's helpful. Generally, it can scan around even if it is a lighter color background, but it's helpful if there's a little bit of contrast there. You'll see that in mine. And I didn't even really do that on purpose. It's just the table we have is dark and the thing that I scanned was a white receipt. So you're going to get that ready and then click on the plus button to add a new scan. And what you're going to do is point your camera toward the document you want to scan and make sure that the document is fitting in this frame. So here, I just have a grocery store receipt that I decided to scan as an example. Even my lighting is not that great. It's still going to work, which is another reason why I really like this. It's not super bright. It looks not very clear from here. but it does fit in the screen. So that's what you're looking for. You want to make sure the whole document is fitting in the camera window when you point it. That's how you want it set up before it starts doing the scan for you. And what will happen is when you have the document within that frame, Genius Scan will highlight the document, what it's about to scan. So the area that it's about to scan, that it's picked up, it will highlight it in this orange color. So you can see what it is that it's reading as your document. So if there was not very much background contrast and it was taking up the whole screen and more than your document, then you could be like, oh, I should probably put it on a different background to make sure I'm getting just the document itself, because that's all you need. You don't need the background. So it'll highlight what it plans on scanning. And what you can do is just hold your phone still, and you see this little wheel here that rotates. When it goes all the way around, it will take the scan for you. But just hold it still. That makes it so the scan is clearer, and it'll go blink. And then the screen will flash when your scan is complete. It'll just go whoop, almost like when you take a picture. So once that happens, once you see that flash, if you're scanning just one piece of paper, one document, you can just click that check. Actually, even if you're scanning multiple, go ahead and click the check mark if it looks like what they scanned was right. So it'll do the thing, and then you can click on check mark, and it'll show you a thumbnail image, so a small image of your scan. So from here, so you have your one scan. Let's say that's all I want to do. I just need to send this receipt to somebody. But if I had a multi-page document, let's say I was scanning like my signed lease or something like that, because I wanted a copy of it for myself. What you would do is do it one page at a time. So you do that once, and then you come in here, and then you do the plus sign and you'd add another page. So this would all be in the same file, but it would be multiple pages, which is helpful because sometimes if you were scanning multiple pages as separate files, you'd end up with a whole bunch of files if it's a long document. But if you just keep adding pages here to this file, then you'll have one file that's 10 pages or whatever your document was, and it'll all be together and in order. If you have a multi-page document that you're scanning, just keep clicking on that plus button to do the next page. Keep coming back to this screen, and you'll see underneath your first scan, you'll have your second page, your third page, and it'll all become one file. But for this example, I only have one receipt. So once you finish scanning your document, you're going to click here on this small version of it, the thumbnail version. And that'll give you options to edit your scan. You might not need to do that. If all you need is for your scan to be legible and it looks fine to you, you can just go skip this step altogether. But if maybe your scan didn't come out quite the way you wanted it to, or you need it to be like switched in a different direction or a little bit darker, here are some tools that you can use to edit that scan. I'm just going to show you some of the basic ones. There's not tons of them anyway, but a couple of things that might be useful. So we're going to click on that edit button. And what comes up from there is these options to recrop your scan. So let's say the scanner picked up some stuff on the side that was still like the background. You can go in and hit recrop and it'll let you cut it. It actually takes just the receipt. So if you get something extra in the background, the crop will let you crop it back down to the size of the document. The other things you can do is if you did something sideways or you need to send it a certain direction, you can rotate it left or right. So make the scan this way or that. The one that I think is actually the most useful of these is this thing called curvature correction, which I had to play around with because I didn't really understand what it was. But once I figured it out, I'll show you what it does. So I felt like I was scanning my receipt pretty head on, right? But it's a little tilted. It's like I was a little off. If you look really closely, it's subtle, but you can see that the text is skewed a little bit. What curvature correction does is it turns it back the other way as if you had taken the scan head on in the first place. So it makes it like flat as opposed to tilted. So you see here, like some of this is going in that direction. You just click on curvature correction and it should straighten it out for you, which will make it a bit more legible and just uniform. So I like that one because even if you think you're taking a scan head on, you're usually a bit off, or at least I am. So that can be a helpful one. And any of these, if you click on them and don't unclick them, then they'll just save that way. So if you do curvature correction, you don't have to do anything else. If you've clicked on it, it looks all right. It'll just apply to the scan and then you can move on. And then the other things you can do is add filters. So if your scan isn't ideal, if you need it to be a little bit darker, you can go through these filters and see what might be helpful to add to it. One thing that I think is interesting is if you look at the photo one, this shows you a really good contrast between what this scan would look like as a photo and what it looks like as a scan. So here, I did not do this particularly precisely for a reason too. I wanted to show you that if you took this as a photo, you would get a lot of shadow in it. That's my arm in there, but that's taken out when you scan it to make this a legible document. But again, if some of these things are too light or you need to make changes, that's another way to just make it look the way you want it to. And then if you need to make it fit on a particular size paper or in a particular size file, it gives you that option too. So fitting it on a letter letter, size paper, legal, if those are important. Basically what I did with this, scanned it, all I did was do that curvature correction. I didn't do any filters or anything like that. That's all I felt like it needed. If you zoom in, it's actually quite legible, even though it looks a little light up in the corner. So when you have your scan the way you want it and you're ready to share it, what you want to do is click this icon here, which is kind of like the universal share icon. So whenever you see that, that's giving you options on how to share something. It might be by email, even saving it to your device, but that's the one to look for if you ever have something within your window that you are trying to share. So look for that, click on that, and it'll give you some options. Now, this is the place where I think that Genius Scan falls a little bit short, but it depends on what you're doing. If you're doing simple things, I think it's great for that. I'll show you what I mean by that in the next slide. But when you click on that share button, this is what you'll see. So you'll see the name of your file, which you can change, the file format, which we're using PDF. You can also make a JPEG, which is an image file, but for our purposes, we're going to do PDF. And then the file size, so you can make it larger or smaller, just the quality of the photo. I'm just using actual size for this. So let me show you where this takes us. So you can change the name of your scan here. So I'm going to call this grocery receipts. So when I do this, that means I saved this somewhere. If I send it to somebody, that's what this file would be called. So they would get it and it would be called grocery receipt. And the one thing that it doesn't do is actually like completely change the name of your scan. So I'll show you that in a minute. The scan will just still save the date and time on it. But if you send this to somebody, they will get a attached document that says grocery receipt. To get to that screen, what you want to do is click here. Click on the share button. So this thing that has 3 prongs here, that will get you into this thing that says export document. And then you'll have the options beneath it. So we're going to rename it. It's at the top of the screen. There's a file name, and then you can just go in there and type a new name. So this is what I'm saying, is that the Genius Scan has limited options. You'll see, once you change the name, when you scroll down, there are all these options of how to share it that are locked. They're locked for unless you have the paid version. The 2 things that you can do really easily with this are email a scan or save it to your phone, save it to your device, whatever kind of device you're on. So for these purposes, I'm going to email it. I'm just going to make an email. And what you'll see is it's coming from me because this is my phone. And then I can say whoever I want to send it to. It'll say scan grocery receipt because that's what I called it. And what will happen is there'll be the PDF file of that scan attached automatically. So I can just type in and then hit send, and they will have that PDF file. So that's there. Actually ended up sending this to myself and checked it on the other end, and it looked great. The other thing you can do, if you're not trying to send it to anybody, or if it's sensitive information that you're not trying to send by email, but you do want to save it on your password protected phone, you can go to that same screen. So back to where we hit that share button. In this case, I'm not going to change that there. What we're going to do is go to device memory. And what that is you're sharing this to the memory on your phone. So sharing it as a file that is then on your phone in your documents folder. So you're going to say export to device memory, and then go to folder, and it's automatically going to go to your documents. And I just said use this folder and then selected documents again. And then just say allow Genius Scan. If you want it to save into your documents, which is a logical place for it to go, you might have somewhere else it wants to be, but you can just say that and it'll default to saving things to your documents. So what you would do is if you needed to access that file later and send it to somebody, you would upload it and put it from your documents folder to send it. But if you just need to email something quick, you can just do it through Gmail, which I think is really helpful. Once you've saved your scan, you can push those back buttons up in the corner to get back to your main screen. And what you'll see now, it was empty before. Now it has my grocery store receipt scan in here. One thing to note, like I said, is they don't change the name of the actual scan itself. They changed it as the file that you're sending out. So it still just has this here. You can actually change this name by clicking and holding on it, and it'll give you the option to change it. But these will stay here. So you scan a bunch of things. They will stay in here, I think, until you delete them. I couldn't find that there was any sort of date that they would clear out or anything. There might be a upper limit of how many you can save, but it doesn't seem to be super low. If you need to delete something though, or you want to delete something, you don't want it in here anymore, what you're going to do is click on the one you want to delete and hold down. So not a fast press, but a press and hold. And when you do that, you're going to see that little check mark that shows you selected it. And if you go to these three dots, you can go down and say delete. I didn't do it because I still want my scan, but that's what you would do. So press it, hold down, three dots, delete. And delete is your only option in the three dots. Last thing, just a reminder about safety. As convenient and helpful as this can be, don't let people trick you into sending them your sensitive information. So if somebody's asking you for sensitive information and you don't know who they are, if they're asking by text, if they're asking by phone, don't scan and send things to them. Just anything that is in any way suspect, is in any way somebody that you don't know. Do not use this to scan and send private information to somebody who's asking for it who you don't know. If the scanned information you need to share with someone, this is someone you know. So if it is something that you can verify that this person is legit and someone you know, and they need something that has personal information on it, perhaps for a job or for tax purposes or something like that, don't send these things through email, text message, or chat. So if it has your social security number, if it has your bank account information, don't send it using those methods, email, text message, or chat. See if there's a way for you to share this information with that party, either in person, so you're sharing it with them directly, or through a portal where you upload documents, a safe portal site. Some of those are like Access HRA, if you've ever had to upload some of your documents to there. Sometimes they have personal information on them, but that is a secure portal that is meant for you to upload those documents in a way that people can't access them. So if you have something that has identifying information, bank account information, things that would be a real problem if somebody intercepted, don't send those through email, text message, or chat. So this receipt, not a big deal, right? Like I actually even went in there and blacked out the last 4 digits of my credit card number. But things that are personal information, sensitive information, just be careful with those and make sure you're using either an in-person way of giving someone this information or a secure portal.